welcome back, everyone. This is Enderlock here with the PBA. We are on to our last division today, finishing up the final 5 of the 40 teams for the inaugural 22-65 season. Today we have the NL Latin American Division 2. Teams we have are Havana Rhythms, Guatemala City Quetzals, Guayaquil Delfines, Caracas Bolivars, and Córdoba Gauchos. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at Havana. All right, so let's see what we got here in Havana. I like the colors here, for sure. All right, Gilbert Lucas, 33. 13th round pick. All right, I like him as a 13th round pick. Corner outfielder, a plus corner outfielder, and maybe could have a little bit more power, but I like his makeup overall, Lucas. Oh, Pamphile Benoldi, Old Aches and Pains at 29. He is the 9th overall selection. Not a good fielder, though. So MVP watch list, we'll add him to that. Cannot really play defense, though. Below average at first. So, I'm not sure I would take number 9 overall, someone who could not play defensive position. So, their 3rd round pick here, Mwini, is an average second baseman in terms of defense. Maybe has a little bit more power than your typical second baseman makeup, but solid player. Again, there's not a lot of defense. Oh, Peralta. He was their 5th round pick. Another corner outfield type here for Rosie. Left field, right field. I guess he could play center, above average defense there, but I wouldn't want him there long term. I do like the combination of the power of the eye. Yeah, so overall, solid player, 5th round selection. Kind of older team. Okay, let's take a look at Justin Headley, their 2nd round pick. 72nd overall. He is a Gold Glover at either short or 3rd. I would keep him at short with that range for sure, but Gold Glover at either. Not the best bat, but he's, definitely a star defender in their team there. Again, I'm not sure why Put is not playing first base. He's a 50-60. And we've got, what's his name? A better player. Pamphile, but not a good defender and not much room to grow. So I'm curious some of those decisions that are being made, some of these teams. So we'll finish out, just take a look. So we have a pretty good catcher, 7th round pick, plus defense at 65 and above average in every category. I being the one where he is a plus. So solid catcher. Did we see their second? We did see their 2nd round pick. So I'm not thinking we're gonna have a good starting rotation here, but we'll take a look. Okay, so we're starting off proving me wrong right away. A plus pitcher there at 70. Litinin. Like the control, the movement, and HRA are good. Really only 2 pitches though. That splitter is below average. I'm curious. I feel like I've said this a lot, so maybe I have, but not a fan of just a 2-pitch starting pitcher for sure, but that 3rd pitch is not really usable. Manaya Mish had a little bit of better control, up to maybe 60 would be nice, but solid 2nd pitcher. Definitely all right with him in a rotation. Bustos, again, I'd like just to tick up more on the control, but the combination movement and HRA should be able to keep him going. So far, I'm not as upset with their rotation as I thought I would be. Gone, the cricket here, is solid for being able to eat up innings there in the beginning. So really only Kyle here is a below average pitcher, and he is going to get, he's a fly ball pitcher with that low HRA. He's going to get bombed. So pretty solid starting rotation. Let's go ahead and take a look at the bullpen then. 16th round selection is Angwin, and Angwin is, typical closer. Setup man, Shabov. Shibalov is your typical bullpen. Setup arm, sure. All right, same thing with Montoya. Kubiak has 3 pitches. Could maybe be an opener. Bricking. Only 2 usable pitches. So solid overall team. They're in Havana, and we've got 4 more teams to go. All right, T-minus 4 teams left. Let's go to Guatemala City and take a look at the Quetzals. Right, let's see if there's... Okay, I'm just really curious to look at this 20 power dude. So we've got Jeremy Matlock, a corner outfielder who can't hit the ball outside of the park. Very interesting player. I actually want to add him to guys to track. I need to delete that top short list there, guys. I don't think I'll have a good season. So let's look at Ingo Oswald. Okay, all right. Oswald is our 2nd round pick. He's a second baseman, probably first baseman long. Sure. Well, I guess he's 30 already, so he might be all right. Above average second base defense. A little more power than your average second baseman at 65. 60 contact and avoid K, and then a 75 I. He's a solid player. Ingo Oswald is definitely somebody definitely a solid player. Okay, JP Hudson. He was their 3rd round pick. He is their center fielder, but it looks like he's way more of a corner outfielder profile, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him end up in the corner. But 70 power, 65 I. Has some issues avoiding Ks and making contact, both below average, but not bad. Milcevic is your average 3rd baseman, average defense. Wilfred Lippett, their 7th round pick. He's above average defensive men at first. All right, another good catcher we've seen here. Their 1st round pick. So we've seen a couple 1st round catchers. That's interesting. We got 60, so plus defense here, which is definitely good. Everything, all of his batting ratings are above average, except for gap power, which is 50. So yeah, so let's go ahead and look DH, and then one of our worst fielding shortstops for sure here is Herbert Odenthal. Oh, yikes. 55. Probably one of the worst shortstops we've seen, actually. I mean, he's got solid power, so that helps. But really, he's going to hit the home run and really probably not a lot else. So, wow. Okay, let's move on to the starting rotation here in Guatemala City. We got Ben Hoyer, who is similar to the last days here. We've got just 2 pitches, really. Not a fan of Ben Hoyer. Only 2 pitches. That sinker is below average. I know you can use it. It'll be... I'm just... rather have him just be average. I'd like just this. Just have 75, 75, 60. They're going to have 3 pitches. Make them all plus, and I would at least feel comfortable starting you. That high in my rotation, I should say. Sometimes the end of the rotation, things can change, especially. So in this league, we've got 6 starting pitchers. Okay, so Harris is solid, 27-year-old. 4 pitches, fastball, slider, changeup, sinker. Like the 60 HRA and 65 control combined. So Harris there, is he the third pitcher? Solid. Lappin. See, number 4 pitcher, 5 pitches and just the changeup is below average. I can get behind Lappin as a guy who's someone as second half of your rotation. Then we get into the Jim Davis here, and I don't even know, is it worth showing Andy much. I'm just really curious to see these 45 pitchers, how they do at the end of the year. How many of these end of the rotation 50, 45 guys have good seasons? And my guess is there'll be a couple, but the consistency will just be all over the map on them year to year. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the bullpen real quick. Kosilinik is typical closer. Yeah, I like him as a closer. I think most closers in this league I seem to be fairly all right with. Prundia is a typical bullpen arm as a setup there, and Nick Gray as well. So there's them, and then it looks like, yep, just some typical bullpen arms at the back with 2 pitches. All right. So with that, we are down to 3 teams to go. All right, let's go ahead and move on to Guayaquil Delfines. All right, here we go. All right. Okay, Sander Sorensen. Oh, wow. Dav. He is definitely going to the watch list. So, wow, plus, he's a 25th overall pick. He's a corner outfielder. 60 contact, K avoidance, gap power and power, and 70 I. Guayaquil has a really good leadoff hitter there. Or I guess he's their second hitter, sorry. Okay. Okay, so bad defense in left. Shortstop is, he's more of a third baseman than a shortstop. Yeah, he could play set. I would try and upgrade there if I was Guayaquil, but 22 years old, not bad. He's definitely a serviceable player. 60-65 with what we've seen in this league, that's going to be hard, I think, especially if you've got holes elsewhere on your defense. Kind of want to control one of the teams, but I'm not gonna. Guayaquil here, so Aaron Daniel is our 4th round pick. It looks like he's a second baseman. He can play there solidly. Not a lot else here on the offense. I did want to look at their third baseman real quick to see. So they're playing a first baseman at third baseman. So they're, 65, if they had all above average defenders, I probably wouldn't be as upset with the 65 defensive shortstop, but they've got, average to above average everywhere else, some even below average defense, and that's, I think, going to hurt them a lot in this league. And then we've got a catcher at the end who does have good defense, 65, so. All right, let's go ahead and look at Guayaquil's rotation here. Nico Wolf, 2nd round pick. Again, as an ace, I would like to see a little bit more control than 55, maybe bump that up to 60. But overall, Nico Wolf, 22 years old again, really solid starting pitcher for sure. Oh, wow. George Whedon. I think Guayaquil might be the teams to beat right here in this one. Dang. Wheaton has 5 pitches. I mean, he can throw that. When you have 5 pitches, you can throw that changeup a little bit more. But, wow, he was their 3rd round pick. Was his nickname Sloppy? Sloppy. I love it. He should have less control then. Tom Pearson, 4 pitches, all plus, 60s everywhere else. So it looks like his stuff is a little bit lower. But again, when you're talking these 3 and 4 and then the 5 and 6 starting pitchers, I like Thraligan Welch here. He's, I'd like that control to be knocked up, but again, he's their 4th pitcher. He's pretty solid. He's got 3 pitches that are at 65. 5 total pitches. So far, I'm really liking it. Oh. Cameron Downer, Sweet Lettuce. We are going to watch Sweet Lettuce's career unfold. Maybe I should have had a nicknames I love sort of thing. Now I'll just pull him into Excel and look at him or something. And then, okay, so we got a 45 here with 1 at the end. But again, he's got 4 pitches, so maybe not the worst 45 end of the rotation starter we've seen. Maybe. All right, let's go ahead and look at the bullpen then. We've got Louis Schmidt, a 5th round. I think this is the highest. I think we saw one other 5th round closer, if I remember right. But 5th round closer, he's fine. I wish that movement was higher if he was going to have 50 control. But 23, Guayaquil is really a much younger team than some of them we've seen, so that's nice. Murasik Jubilani is your standard relief setup arm with 2+ pitches. Yep. Same thing with the Mahatma. Abdul Muhim Jahar is just another solid but typical relief arm. And then, let's see here, Pedro Leon, yeah, same thing. So, yeah, looking at Guayaquil, I think I like them best so far. We still have 2 more teams to go after this, so we're going to pump the brakes for a second here. But I think that overall, the Delfines are probably the team to beat that I've seen so far here in this division. So, yeah, let's go ahead and head on back and finish out the last 2 teams. All right, let's go ahead and get Caracas here as we finish off the last 2 teams, the Bolivars here. Let's go ahead and see what they have in store for us. Okay, we're starting off with some good defense here with Haute Sangi. It looks like he's definitely a solid second baseman. So that's solid. That's nice. Good start. Their 3rd overall pick. Ooh, then we go into short and we get their 24th round pick. He's not really a shortstop. He's more of a 3rd baseman. So, yikes. Okay, and here, Voljaslav Yuskokovic, also known as Foot. Let's go with Foot, I think. He is a plus center fielder and a plus left and right fielder defensively. And he has the makeup of a slightly less strikey out, slightly less power corner outfielder. So got the speed, plus 60 power is fine, 80 50 to 55, everything else with that 75 gap power. And that speed, he should be able to take advantage of it. So, wow, yep, I definitely like him. Look at Christian Jean here, 50 right fielder, 55 right fielder, 50 defense. Schling is a 55 right fielder. Oh, 30, okay. So he's still got room to grow. So hopefully Skinner is able to max out some of that defense more because 35 at first is not gonna really cut it. All right, and here we go. We've got another, was he their 2nd round pick, Teo He's a third baseman, second baseman type too. He's got a little bit better arm though, so he could definitely stick at third, I think. Could play a little shortstop, but I don't. Not quite as good at turning double plays as I'd like, and none of the infield defensive ratings are in the blue. I'd like to see at least range get in that blue for a shortstop. All right, let's look at Peralta. He's a 65 plus catcher on defense. Solid overall. Definitely could compete for awards at the position. And then Sego is left fielder who just, kind of average everywhere. He's got a little more speed than your typical left fielder, but should be able to improve on defense a little bit more. So overall, not super impressed. At the start, I hope that they've got some pitching here. Let's take a look. So their 4th round pick is Cheese. Cheese, I like Cheese. I would have Cheese in my rotation. I also actually love eating cheese too. So there's a nugget about me. We'll put him on the Cy Young watch list for sure. We're definitely going to follow Cheese here for sure. All right, so Titimus is okay. Okay, nothing to really write home about in terms of, what we're doing there. And, 3 pitches, all plus. I'm not thinking I'm going to get 40 stamina. And yeah, so I'm not a super big fan of the rotation. I'm not sure if it's even worth digging much into here. Lance Brown, yeah. I mean, they might not be the worst rotation we've seen at the end, but I'm just not really feeling Caracas very much. I think I'm putting them down near the bottom. Let's look at their bullpen. Gudimumu. Typical closer. Typical solid closer. Kamoga, again, 2+ pitches. I like the control and movement in HRA. Solid setup, man. So, Drajaka? Peter Drajaka is a below average bullpen arm. I just wanted to say his name. And I think that it looks like these other guys are just typical bullpen arms. So, let's head back. Definitely not feeling Caracas much at all here. We've only got one team to go. Let's finish it up strong. Let's go ahead and look at Cordoba. So let's see what Cordoba has here. Okay, so defense is, this is the big cheese. So we just had the cheese and the big cheese now. So definitely 2 players I'm going to follow. Zijun Su, 70 contact, 60K avoidance, lower gap power, but not a terrible player. 3rd round pick. Nadius Lange, Jeremy, Peter. All right, let's take a look at Peter Savičić. He does not have a nickname here. He was their 1st round pick, number 30 overall. He is going that 30 avoid K though. That could possibly that could hurt him a little bit there. But Gold Glover at shortstop. Second, third, or shortstop, 80 power. Just as long as he's not striking out, he's going to have a really, I think he could have a good year. Jason Jones, just your average, similar player, 75 power, but looks like he's either a first baseman or corner outfielder potentially. Okay, we got a solid catcher here. 2nd round pick. He's 23. He's all right. I'm not sure I would have drafted him that high, but he's all right, and he's a younger guy, so that works. All right, and then it looks like here at the end, oh wow, Raul Delgado might be the worst player we have seen. So of course we saved it for last. That's about how this stuff works. But yeah, I think he might be the worst starting player we've seen. And he plays center field, so he's not even there for good defense. Like, at least find somebody who can like be a Gold Glover in center field if you're gonna have someone who's got such meh batting ratings. All right, so let's go ahead and look at their starting rotation. Oh wow, 21-year-old Zora Hovart, their 4th round pick. He's going on the Young watch list and prospects to watch. Very solid player. Definitely gonna follow his career. Pavel Maric is okay. Another 21-year-old starter, so they are young in the front. I just wish he had one more pitch. Fragile too, so that's unfortunate. All right, we got a 32-year-old here with, what, is this 6 pitches? Yeah, 6 pitches. Holy crap. All plus, fast slider, curve, change, sinker, splitter. I just wish that control was a little bit higher, him being a starter. I just wish that was a little bit higher. All right, Mike Lopez. All right, we're getting to the back end of the rotation, so he's all right. I mean, nothing to write home about. Same thing here with the Wildcat. Not a lot to write home about. Let's see what else we got here with Vigil. Again, he's kind of very, very meh average. It'd be nice to see him be able to grow a little bit more, but 24 already, so. All right, let's finish this up and take a look at our last bullpen here. And last closer we're taking a look at, 7th round pick, Pauly. Antonio Casio is Pauly. He's your typical closer. I actually really like him. He's one of the better ones I think I've seen. Let's go ahead and look at the setup man, Fifi, the 4th Lord. Very typical setup arm. And Larmacue. Okay, so he's not quite as typical because only 1 plus pitcher. 1 plus pitch. The cutter is only plus, but it's a 95 cutter, so it could be plus, or whatever we call that. So solid arm. Just a little bit atypical in terms of what we're used to seeing. Gene Roy, 3 pitches, like having a guy like that in my bullpen in case I need him to go a little longer. And Wilkie, I like having someone like him too. I honestly, he could be a starter if you were able to get that stamina up to the 40s. I think you could start him. That would get you about 80-ish, 80, 90 pitches a game potentially. So yeah, I would probably try and see if I could get his stamina up and maybe convert him into an end of the rotation starter. So yeah, with that, let's take a second here and decide what we think is going to happen in this division. I think Guayaquil probably wins. I would take Guatemala City second, then Cordoba, followed by some order of Havana and Caracas. I don't really care between the two of those. I don't think they're that great of teams. So with that, thanks for stopping by. This finishes the inaugural preview of the teams for the 22-65 season. So we will look forward to seeing you next time, where we start to look at the draft. Since we are still in January, the draft order will be finalized here in the next 2 days in game. We'll go ahead and look at that. We'll get the draft order. We'll get a look at some prospects. I've took a little look. There's some really interesting guys in there. And we can add some people to our draftees to watch shortlists. So thanks again for stopping by. This is Ender Locke signing out, and we look to see you next time. Thanks for stopping by.